starting with McDonald's, which is the world's largest chain of hamburger fast food restaurants.
Yep, so it wasn't founded by Ray Kroc, but he was the guy who came in and took them from like 3 stores to many around the world, and it is the largest. It's got a market capitalization of over $100 billion.
$106 billion US dollars, a PE of 23.6, and a dividend yield here of 2.9%. Share price graph gives us some context to the story.
It's a pity we can't go back another 5 years, because what I want to make the point about McDonald's is it's done extremely well, and it didn't even stop for a pause during that 2008-2009 crisis. Because the feeling then was that, you know, everyone was going to be eating at McDonald's soon.
But it did pause towards the end of 2016 and now back on an upward trajectory. Take us through those moves, Devin.
Yeah, so I mean, this is a company that's got a huge store network, 36,000 stores. They're in 100 companies, and what they do...
100 countries.
Countries, yes. And what they do exceptionally well is consistency. So, you know, the burgers you get wherever you are, yes, they might add local flavors and special menu items, but a Big Mac is a Big Mac. I think they've been guilty in the past of almost trying to chase the Starbucks model and be a destination place to sit and have a coffee. The Mac Cafe rollout that they doubled down on didn't work. And the new CEO, or newish year and a bit, that's been in there, has moved away from that, and they've gone back to their knitting. Food, they've tried to introduce more healthier items. So I think they're in the process of streamlining, and they're bringing in some nice technology additions. They're looking at fully automated ordering kiosks. Applications are becoming a standard now. So they're trying, but you know, when you're this size, to really generate significant growth is a challenge.
Is that going to be the status quo here? Is that the size is going to count against them in terms of...
I don't see that being too much of a
upside?
problem. In the United States of America, they're ubiquitous in both cities and sort of peri-urban and suburban areas. They're an important community meeting place. They're an important place for people to go that have got nowhere else to go during the day. The rule is you're allowed to stay for like 3 hours, but you got to buy something.
I see you've tried this out in the local space, have you?
Yeah.
Or do you do this when you get to New York? You set up your
Internationally,
meetings?
though, there's plenty of upside. I mean, you know, the South Africa rollout has not really been too well handled, if you ask me. They could have done a lot better in this country, but they remain big in Asia. They're big in Europe. You'd be surprised how profitable and how prominent they are in Europe, where despite all the supposed anti-American sentiment, they're always full, in my experience, in Madrid, in Paris, and places like that. So I think
we've got geographic diversification here.
and more to come. So there's more scope for the group to get even larger and even more prominent. And I think the offering is what many customers around the world want. It's very inexpensive. You know, that is the most important thing of all. It's tasty and it's inexpensive.
For sure, it is tasty. Is there anything else to add before we go hot or not on this one?
I think the market is telling you, one of the other reasons why I took that up there in the middle of that chart you saw was because they introduced all-day breakfast at the point where that share price starts to move up, which really excited a lot of people, because
In the US.
apparently people want to eat breakfast in the afternoon.
Do they have an all-day breakfast offering here in South Africa?
Not that I know of, but it's
Can't
probably
wait
coming
for
if
it
it works
to be
that well.
introduced, exactly, if that's the reason for the
My sons
share
like
price
eating
shooting up.
hamburgers for breakfast, so there's no problem with all-day breakfast in South Africa.
Can't say I agree with that stance, but let's call it hot or not. Devin.
Look, I'm going to admit as well, I find it quite tasty. I don't know if you're allowed to do that publicly.
We should have had a little snack. We should have had a snack in the studio.
Yeah, look, it's you can't argue with the history of this company. It's never going to be cheap to buy. Fairly uninspiring performance over 5 years. As Paul said, you pull the lens back longer and it does look good. I'm just not willing to pay the multiples for the company at the moment. I think there are more enticing prospects in the space.
Not hot, but tasty.
Yes.
Hot or not?
Enticing. Now I'm going to call it hot. I just think in good times and bad, it's a very solid company. So I'll be hot on this one.